So, because this is the age of Kali and we are very much covered by materialistic consciousness, we think, oh, we should buy gold. So there's a tradition, a local tradition in India. Many people buy gold, and the gold shops are rubbing their hands together. And they can pay off their mortgage today, because everyone's coming to buy the gold. But actually, the history is in Badrinath Dham, one of the 4 Char Dhams in India, high up in the Himalayas. Then today, because for 6 months the doors have been closed because of snow. But today the doors of Badrinarayan Mandir, they open. And the prakash, the illumination of those doors opening, that sends out an intense spiritual vibration around the planet, and it's very auspicious. So whatever activity you instigate today, it's a very auspicious day to begin there. But we are not concerned with some materialistic wealth, because actually this will certainly be perishable. Because when the pralaya comes, where's your gold bar then? Finished. And it says in Bhagavad Gita that the learned Brahmana, he looks at a dog stool, a rock, and gold is the same. So you want to invest in dog stool today? No, so the wise person, start some activity related to the Supreme Lord today. So if you're not chanting japa, very good day to start a practice of japa meditation. Or some puja, read Bhagavatam, read Bhagavad Gita, start some practice related to the Supreme Lord today. And it's also considered to be the birth of Parshuram today, on Avatar. But on Friday was the appearance day of Gadadhara Pandit. Who here knows Gadadhara Pandit? Heard of him before? No? Who's Gadadhara Pandit?
He's Radharani.
Radharani. And which Leela?
Gauri.
Gaura Leela. So perhaps you've heard of the Panchatattva. The Lord and his 5 features. So the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, has descended to this world in 5 features. Panchatattva Am Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavatayam Bhatakyam Nanami Bhakti Shaktikam. So on the right side of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is who? Nityananda. And then further on the right side is who? Advaita Acharya. And then on the left side, who's on the left side? Gadadhara Pandit. And then? Srivas Thakur. Now why are some on the left and why are some on the right?
Because some are like Vadavani and some are like Bhadavan and energy, no?
Some is Shakti Tattva on the left and the other is Vishnu Tattva on the right. So the first Shakti Tattva on the left is Srimati Radhika. So everyone knows Srimati Radhika in Krishna Leela. But when Supreme Lord, that is Rasik Shreka Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna, appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then his Shaktis descend with him. But in this Leela, it is very confidential. So Srimati Radhika, she takes the form of Gadadhara Pandit. And then, because she's taking the male form in this Leela, then also her associates, they also has male forms. So Lalita is coming as Sarup Damodar, Vishaka is coming as Ramananda Ray. So our Guru Varga, they have male forms in this world. But in the eternal spiritual world, they are Manjaris of Srimati Radhika. So it is described in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Padasaka Gadadhara Pandita Goshani Teno Lakshmi Rupa Trina Sama Kehanai. Gadadhara Pandit, the 4th branch, is described as an incarnation of the pleasure potency of Sri Krishna. Therefore, no one can equal him. So that original Srimati Radhika, she has descended as Gadadhara Pandit to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Leela of relishing her bhav, Radharani's bhav, because that is the primary reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has descended to this world. But incidentally, it was time for the Yuga Dharma to be established, because it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Yuge Yuge, millennium after millennium, I descend to this world to establish the Yuga Dharma. But that is the Vishnu Tattva. So all of the avatars of the Supreme Lord, they are included within the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the timing for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coincided with the descent of the Dharma avatar. So the example is given, if you want to cook some food and you light a little fire in your kitchen, not turn on the stove, but in the olden days they had fires, right? So your primary reason is to cook the food, but incidentally the entire room becomes warm from the heat of the fire. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here, his primary reason in this avatar was to taste what is Srimati Radhika tasting when she is loving Krishna. But incidentally he established the Yuga Dharma. Now what is the Yuga Dharma? Balaram Prabhu said it before. Who was listening? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, Hey Arjuna, Akagrata Chaitasa, have you heard my instructions with one pointed attention? So who was listening to Balaram?
Well, we don't have one point in attention.
So the Yuga Dharma is chanting of what mantra? This is
Ma
easy.
mantra.
How does that go?
There is no
Hare
other
Krishna,
way.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Gadadhar Pandit appeared in this world in what's now Bangladesh, and when he was 12 years old, he moved to Navadvip Dham, and he was in the same school as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But in this, at this stage, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing Vidya Vilas. He was not a devotee, and he was performing the pastimes of a learned scholar, studying Navyan Nyaya, and he was somewhat arrogant. So whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was coming, Gadadhar would think, oh, I must avoid this person. so sweet are the leaders of the Lord. And then when Jagannath Mishra passed away, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Gaya and met his Gurudev. And he was initiated by his Gurudev and then came back as a very bright, effulgent Vaishnava. So this pleased the heart of everyone in Sri Navadvip Dham. So one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after receiving this mantra, this Maha Mantra from his Gurudev, his mind was going crazy. And he said to his Gurudev, oh, what is this mantra that you have given me? Because if anyone is bitten by the black snake of Krishna, they'll go crazy. So watch out. Too late, you're here. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the association of Gadadhar Pandit, he was saying, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And Gadadhar Pandit said, oh, Krishna's in your heart. So then he was trying to tear open his chest like Hanuman. You know, when there's the Murti of Hanuman, right? Opening his chest. And who was there? Sitaram. So, who was also Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was trying to tear open his chest. Where's Krishna inside my heart? And then Gadadhar Pandit said, no, just be patient. Krishna's coming just now. And Sachimata, she saw this. And then she saw, this Gadadhar, my Nimai, he's losing his mind a little bit. But this Gadadhar Pandit, his words are very cooling, like soothing moonbeams. And this is a very good association for my son. So then Sachimata, she said, you should always be around my son. Just like in Krishna Leela, Radharani, she got the benediction of Durvasa Muni, whoever eats your food will be incomparable. So then Mother Yashoda requested, every day, please come and cook for my son Kanaya. So in Krishna Leela, every day, Radharani is cooking for Krishna. So in Gora Leela, Sachimata, that same Yashamoti, Yashoda, she is requesting Gadadhar Pandit always be around my son. So we know that later in his pastimes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu moved to Jagannath Puri Dham. And also Gadadhar Pandit went to Jagannath Puri Dham and took Ketra Sannyas, to just stay in one place. Because Gadadhara Pandit was very clever and was thinking, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sending some of his associates away, you should go back to your place. But Gadadhara Pandit thought, I'll take Ketra Sannyas, and that way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot send me away. So one day in Yameshwar Tok, the garden in the vicinity of Yameshwar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was absorbed in the separation mood of Radharani, in her mood of being separated from Sri Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, tears were flowing from his eyes like the Ganga flows from the Himalayas, flows from Badrinarayan. Tears were flowing from his eyes. And he was scratching in the sand, writing in the sand. I was on one big sand dune, and he considered the sand dune to be like Giriraj Govardhan. So as he was scratching in the sand, he found something. And then he went over to Gadadhara Pandit, and he said, "Hey Gadadhara, I want to give you a gift. Will you accept?" And then Gadadhara Pandit said, "Oh yes, of course I will accept." So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented Tota Gopinath, one Murti of Krishna. That actually this Murti had manifest from the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in this way come to Gadadhara Pandit, who stayed there in that vicinity. So
I think Madhav wants you to correct it. Here's a kirtan.
another time,
Do you want to snap that on the phone?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his, he was thinking, I want to go to Vrindavan.
Yesterday, sorry.
So with some associates, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, etc., they were leaving Jagannath Puri and heading in the direction of Vrindavan. And then Gadadhara Pandit thought, I was thinking, I remember Krishna and Krishna Leela. That he said, I will just go to Mathura for a few days and kill these demons and then come back. But Krishna left and he never came back. So I'm not going to fall for this again. I will go with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan. And so off they went, and Gadadhara Pandit started to follow. And then they got to the boundary of where Gadadhara Pandit, if he crossed any further, he would be breaking his vart of his Ketra Sannyas. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he turned to Gadadhara Pandit and said, you should just stay here. If you go any further, you'll be breaking your vart of Ketra Sannyas. And then, because you have taken a vow to always stay in Jagannath Puri Dham. And Gadadhara Pandit said, wherever you are is Jagannath Puri Dham. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he just said nothing. And then he said, what about your service to Tota Gopinath? And then Gadadhara Pandit said, service to your lotus feet is much higher than service to Tota Gopinath. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said nothing. And Gadadhara Pandit just continued walking. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at Gadadhara Pandit and said, what are you doing? And then Gadadhara Pandit said, this is a public road. I'm not following you. I'm just walking along. So they carried on for some time, and they got to Katak. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was involved in the royal court there, so he went there. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they got to a river. And Mahaprabhu, he started to step onto the boat to cross the river. And he said to Gadadhara Pandit, just stay here. Don't come any further. And these words, they pierced the heart of Gadadhara Pandit. And Gadadhara Pandit was burning. And actually, Gadadhara Pandit was fainted in separation. Because although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually said, okay, you have proven your love. And he had actually broken his vow to just stay Ketra Sannyas. But praying, it is not required to follow the rules of Maryada. Just like all the gopis, they left the milk boiling, they left their babies or the baby crying, they were looking after everything, and just running to Krishna. So praying doesn't have to follow Maryada. But also praying has its own Maryada. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he carried on, and Gadadhara Pandit was just left. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he returned after some time, and he said to Gadadhara Pandit, actually, my trip to Vrindavan was not successful because I caused some pain to your heart with my very sharp words. And if we want to succeed in spiritual life, it's all coming from the blessings of Vaishnavas and Guru. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing us by his own example. We may have some desire, we want to go to the Dham, we want to take some pictures, we want to go here and there, but we need to be in Anugatya, and with a mood that is anukul, favorable to Guru and Vaishnavas. So, Param Gurudev, Nityalila Pravisham Vishabhas Tortara Satashishram Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he used to say about Gaura Gadadhara Vigraha that we often see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has one hand up, and Gaura Gadadhara, that is the form of Radharani, she has two hands like this. That is, one meaning is she's giving praying with both hands. But Param Gurudev used to say, because we know that in Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear Bhagavatam every day from the lotus mouth of Gadadhara Pandit, who can teach you better how to relish the moods of Radharani than Radharani herself giving Bhagavatam class. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear like this, and sometimes he would repeat verses, and then it would be slightly off how he would repeat the verse. So Param Gurudev used to say, oh, Gaura Gadadhara is that form of Radharani who's going like this, oh, Krishna, you're not quite relishing the mood, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you're not quite relishing the mood. So, also another reason why Gadadhara Pandit could not go to Vrindavan with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is because Mahaprabhu is in the bhav of Radharani. And in Vrindavan, even the trees are immortal. They never change, they never die. And every branch, every leaf is decorated with the names of Srimati Radhika. So if there was two Radharanis, then Krishna's bhav as being Krishna would come out. So back in Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would hear from Gadadhara Pandit, Bhagavatam, and then like a student has to do their homework every night in the Gambhira with his associates, he would be engaged in Harinam Sankirtan. But Gadadhara Pandit would not be there, because if Gadadhara Pandit would be there, then there'd be two Radharanis, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radharani. So this wouldn't be conducive to the mellow. So in Gaura Leela, Gadadhara Pandit is somewhat passive, just seeing, oh, is Krishna relishing my bhav correctly? But the direct instruction how to relish that bhav, that is coming from Lalita Sakha. Who is Lalita Sakhi? And Gaura Leela? Sarup Damodar. Very close personal secretary and associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, just to conclude, this form of Tota Gopinath was manifest from the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, what is Vigraha? Vishesh Graha. The Murti is not some object carved from stone, carved from marble. This is a materialistic vision. But actually, the Murti, just like Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar was manifest from the heart of Rupa Goswami. He saw in a dream first. And then externally, Rupa Goswami carved Radha Damodar with his own hands, but actually they first manifest in the heart. So Vishesh Graha, the Vigraha is a special form of the Lord that has come to accept our service. So we have Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Radha Damodar, Gaunanitai. Personally, the Supreme Lord has come here to accept our service. So we're very fortunate that here every Sunday we can dress the deities, we can hear some Harikatha, we can perform kirtan for their pleasure. So we can have Vigraha at home if we're in the Grahastha ashram, and a special form of the Lord to relish all of these things. So there are unlimited pastimes of Gadadhara Pandit, but we should know, just like in Bhadranath Dham, Shakti is there. The Badri tree, that is Lakshmi, she's the consort is there for Nara and Narayan Rishi, and she manifests as a tree to give shade to Narayan during tapas. In Krishna Leela, of course, she is Srimati Radhika herself, and then in Gora Leela, that original Purna Shakti, she has appeared in a male form as Gadadhara Pandit. So this is very confidential, wonderful pastimes of Krishna in his form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we can immerse more in these wonderful confidential pastimes by reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gadadhara Pandit ki
Jai.
Radha Damodar ki
Jai.
Rupa Nuga Gaurya Guru Parampara ki
Jai.
Jai Jai Shri
Radhe.